So somebody asked about a video on heat treating, quenching knives. I'm just going to talk about high carbon steel. They stainless. All these other steels takes different treatments. High carbon steel is a steel that you put in a fire. You're going to bring it up to critical temperature, we call it, which is where a magnet don't stick to it anymore. And then you quench it in oil, which hardens it, draws all these molecules together. Ideally, you want steel that's hard enough that when you hit it with a hammer, it'll break half in two. And a lot of times you'll water quench scrap steel like I use on a test piece and hit it, and it should just shatter like glass. If it does that, then you've got good high carbon steel. This is poor man's method too. There's other things to quench in. I've got motor oil here. I've got fish cooking oil over here. You can order stuff like Parks 50. That is what you quench in. So you get that knife hot, you drop it in oil and quench it. Once you come out of there, you want to make sure it's straight. Now this is a blade I just quenched a little bit ago. I made sure it was straight. Now it is ready for temper, which means I will take it and put it in my toaster oven over there. It stays at like 350 degrees, is about as hot as it'll get, and I'll leave it for about 2 hours. This knife here has not been quenched yet, so I'm gonna fire the forge up. We're gonna do this right quick. Okay, this is my knife. Now I've got a hardened blade, so I want to look at that. I want to make sure it's straight. It's starting to bow a little bit, so what it does there, I lay it right here, and then I put a heavy weight on it to force it straight and let it cool a minute. So right now that knife is very brittle. Using it, it's hard. You take a file, it'll skeet right across it. But if you pry a little bit in it, that blade's gonna snap. Break the tip out of it. That's why a lot of your pocket knives ain't been tempered correctly. That is quenching, this is tempered. So I turn this thing over there now to get an accurate reading, because it says it'll do 400 and something degrees, but it won't quite get there. This says it gets to about 350. So I lay that in there and I let it cook for about 2 hours at 350 degrees. If it's a thicker piece of steel, these are 3/32. If I've got a thicker knife, sometimes I'll run it 2 hours twice to make sure I get it. So what that does is that softens it up just a little to where it's not brittle anymore, but it is still hard.